David Carridine died this week. David Carridine I had a chance to interview in Seattle. It was in the early 1980s. I liked David Carridine. He was kind of mellow, kind of laid back, and it was a pleasant interview. And while I was talking to David, I thought back to the chance I had to talk with his father, who was a great actor also. I'd interviewed his father many years before at Knott's Berry Farm in Southern California. He was playing a villain in a play, and he was a masterful villain. His dad was very, very Shakespearean as an actor. He was very proper, and he spoke theatrically, even when he wasn't on stage. I thought it amazing that he talked like that all of the time. David didn't do that. David was much more mellow, much more laid back, and a little almost like he was uncomfortable in this setting of the radio studio. He was like the guy down the street, maybe. But there was a marvelous moment in that interview that has stuck in my mind for many years. I've only twice in my career seen really good actors do what they do. Once with Tony Randall, that's a whole nother story. But let's talk about David Carradine. At one point, Jer, always so prepared for an interview, said, "Grasshopper, it's hard to think of you as that monk in the TV series Kung Fu. I mean, I'm thinking as I'm saying these words, was Grasshopper the one that was in that? I should have researched this, maybe. Or maybe that was that other one where the old guy made the kid a karate champion, and you're making a mistake here in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Damn it, why don't you prepare, I said." But it was at this moment that this older David Carradine went into character, and he became Grasshopper. He became the monk that followed the old monk, the man of peace. The amazing thing in that moment of acting, which was turned on like the flip of a finger, was that the youth that wasn't there before was suddenly there. He became that person. That's what great acting's about. And then he turned it off. It was just about a minute and a half that Grasshopper was in the radio studio, and it impressed me greatly of what talent is and what a great actor is. So now we're perplexed with his death. Some say it came too soon. Death always comes too soon. They said it was strange, and I heard a term I had never heard before: erotic sex. It sent me to the internet to look for it. When I found it, I'm not sure why we had to know that. I think back on other people that die. Do we hear such terms as erotic sex? And they said he hung himself. They said they found a rope around his neck. And then on the internet, if you look, you will see pictures. They're not very pleasant, taken supposedly at the scene of whatever happened in that hotel room of David Carradine. Now, the pictures show the rope is not around his neck. And I tried to envision, and with my seminary training, I had to stretch on this, how one would do that. Tie your hands together and then, with her tied together, tie the other end of the rope somewhere else. I said, it can't be done. I thought about it, and I had to stop my thinking because I'm so pure. But there's something missing in this story. And there's another question, is why was it necessary to tell us that? I'm not sure about erotic sex. I mean, I've never been sure of sex very well any time. I mean, I'm so pure, you know. I drink straight Clorox because I'm clean inside. Yet I don't think we all needed to know that. And I know that psychologists tell us that fantasy and erotic sex, if it doesn't hurt somebody else, is really not that abnormal. That is not the view of the church, I might add. But I think it taints a brilliant acting career. And there's just something strange about David Carradine's passing. One, why was his death so descriptive in the tabloids and the media? We all know it was strange. And if he had a heart attack, wouldn't that be the news story? Or if another person was involved, maybe we should know about those things before we make such a big news story out of this. There's one thing that must be said. David Carradine was a great actor. That's the important thing. And the acting community will miss David Carradine. If you'll excuse me.